celebratory mood because we had 4 films at $20+ million at the box office this weekend, led by Sinners, down just 6%. Crazy. You never see holds like that. I mean, even at Christmas time, that would be great. So we're in rarefied air on this Sunday night. Cinema is back. Big time. Film is on fire. Sunday evening. Thanks for being here. Live as always, you got Estiva in the background. Sudden Moves, brand new LP recommended. It's like right upper alley, right? Electronica. I was feeling this tonight. So let's get started here, and we'll talk about the 4 films that made $20 million, and we'll also discuss Tom Cruise going to the movies, and we'll have the live MMT evaluation of The Accountant 2, in addition to Netflix's Havoc. I had to watch it. It's from the director of The Raid and The Raid 2, 2 of the best, if not the single best, action films of all time. So I had to make an exception for Havoc. We'll discuss it here momentarily. Let me turn the music down, get ready to go. Thanks for being here live, as always, from the City of Angels. Always fun on a Sunday night. Here we go. Let's start with Sinners, down just 6% at the box office. Again, a hold that you just do not see often at any level here in Hollywood, and it speaks to the fact this has captured the cultural zeitgeist, right? Everybody is aware of Sinners. Okay, this isn't doing Minecraft numbers, but it's not a Minecraft movie, right? It's not that kind of thing. This is mobilizing an audience that doesn't come to the multiplex all the time. I mean, you look at a Top Gun Maverick, right? That was a film that really brought people back to movie theaters after we had the COVID, if you go to the movies, you'll kill everyone you know, right? So that helped reintroduce cinema to a bunch of people. And I think Sinners is doing the same thing. It is broadening out in the demographics here in the second weekend. And that is important too, as you're looking at a film combined with Minecraft that is going to save Warner Brothers co-chairs of films jobs. That's how crucial these back-to-back boffo hits are to Warner Brothers just down the street here in Burbank, California. But it wasn't just about Sinners this weekend. It was about Revenge of the Sith coming in at $42+ million worldwide for a reissue of a Star Wars film. Crazy, right? That's how hot we are right now. Oh, but we're not done. Also, The Accountant 2 came in with a shade under $25 million on the stateside bow. And then we still have Minecraft now at over $800 million worldwide. So everyone's back at the movies, and we're still in April. We're not even at the summertime when everyone's really in, as we saw last year, Deadpool Wolverine, the year before Barbenheimer. This year, we've got Mission Impossible on the way. We've got Thunderbolt / Thundercocks. That's next weekend. And we have a bunch of stuff. I mean, we're getting into the meat of summer here in the next several weeks. So to have a Sinners come in addition to these other films, doing $20+ million, we are in an awesome spot right now. And you should be excited, like I'm excited here on this Sunday night, with the Sunday night pink shields in effect. That's how we roll here on Sunday evening. Let's check in on Tom Cruise because he was at the movies. Remember, he went to Tenet. If you guys don't recall, that was during the time when our governor here in California said, you can't go to the movies. We're going to shut it down because everyone you know could die. All of you could die. So I drove to Vegas, 4.5 hours one way from Burbank to watch Tenet and then drive back the same day. So don't ever ask me about my dedication to film. Don't question me. 9 hours to drive to a film? Hell no. Y'all don't do that. Of course you don't. That was nuts. Well, not as nuts as shutting down every theater. That's a whole nother level of cray-cray, as the kids used to say. I'm sure that's not cool anymore. Here's Cruise. Congratulations, Ryan, Michael, the entire cast and crew of Sinners. Must see in cinema and stay through the end credits. And there he is next to the billboard of Sinners. I think he actually was in a regular screening. He was in Tenet in a regular screening in the UK. Tom Cruise is a movie fanatic, clearly. Has he worked with Netflix? No. Should anyone work with Netflix? No. I'm going to hammer Netflix in a minute. Give me a second. So we need to really be thrilled that we have someone like Tom Cruise, arguably the biggest movie star on the planet still, and he is all about cinema because he was, like me, raised watching movies, being in movies in his case, and we all saw movies at a movie theater, not on streaming. We would rent them at Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, or your local spot. Mine was Gahanna Video in Gahanna, Ohio. And that's what we did when they were already in theaters for 3 months or more. We finally got them at home, not 17 days later. But I want to point out one thing just quickly because this is what we do better than anybody else. We make connections and we point out things that other people miss. Remember, Tom Cruise is in business with Warner Brothers, big time. Remember this? From just a few months ago last year, Warner Brothers and Tom Cruise jointly develop and produce original and franchise theatrical films starring Cruise beginning in 2024 and really, obviously, into 2025. He is already at work with the folks on Olive that is about 10 minutes from my place right here, Warner Brothers. So it's synergistic. I just want to point it out. I'm not saying that he wouldn't say that he championed Tenet. Tenet wasn't a Warner Brothers film. Oh, yeah, it was. My bad. I thought it was Universal for a second. Shows you how quickly that turned, right? You know, the thing is, let me just quickly, can I defend Warner Brothers? Tenet, they put in theaters. So if Nolan was pissed about that, why is he pissed? That was when everyone was told you can't go to the movie theater. They opened them in Orange County. I saw Tenet for the second time. The only person in Tenet. One person, because everyone was still scared. If you touch something, you may get this horrible thing on you and you're going to die. Everyone you know is going to die. Oh, I'll keep doing that. I'll do that as much as I can. That'll never stop. Y'all played, well, hopefully you didn't, but a lot of you did. Let's go one way in the shopping mall. We got to go one way in the grocery store. Don't go against the arrows. Oh my God, the dumbest shit that any of us have ever experienced, and a lot of you bought into it. Just admit it. Just say you did. I have more respect for you if you say you did than you're like, nah, I didn't fall for it. You did. You fell for it. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, remember him from the other night? He says that no one wants to see a movie in a theater unless you can walk there. Who walks to the movies? I live really close to AMC Burbank. I've never walked to AMC Burbank. I could, but I don't. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. People want to watch movies at home. Oh, really? Why do we have 4 films at 20 plus million and a runaway success in Sinners holding essentially the same number in the second weekend as in the first, but no one wants to go to the movies? He's definitely a cinema champion, Jaffo. I don't think I made the graphic. I'll get it. I promise you, when I have a moment, I'll make the graphic and I'll make sure it pops up where it says that Tom Cruise is a cinema champion, for sure. Any other comments before we get ready for our MMT evaluation? We're going to get right into it with The Accountant 2, a film that opened pretty much the same. Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate it. Always excited to do the stream and to have some of you, not all of you, but some of you enjoy it. That's all I care about, honest to God. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for being a member. It means a lot. You know, guys, I think we're out here fighting the good fight And I don't think anyone is nearly as objective, fearless, and everything that comes with it that this channel is in the way that I view film and evaluate film and discuss film. And, that's how it's always going to be. It's never going to change, even if I watch a Netflix film. I had to, guys. You have to understand. I had to. I had to do it. All right, let's go. Let's do the MMT evaluation right now of The Accountant 2. I've got to tell you, I never saw The Accountant 1. So for me, I was a little bit out of it during this film. Not like really, because it's not like hard to access exactly what's happening with Ben Affleck's character. I really like that character. And then you have Bernthal, again, brother, J.K. Rowling's not in this. J.K. Simmons is, and J.K. doesn't last long. But, right, you bring a bunch of the people back from the first one, and you have part 2. There's a lot to discuss here. The number one thing that I really like about The Accountant 2 as we get ready to watch this scene of Bernthal appearing in Los Angeles to help out his brother in this big mystery, who killed JK's character. You guys have probably heard he doesn't last long in this film. I really like Affleck and Bernthal and their chemistry. In fact, let's watch a scene here. This is when Bernthal gets there and you get a taste of the chemistry. And I think just John Bernthal and he has kind of this thing, right, that makes him interesting to watch. Do I think he goes a little too far at times, a little over the top? Yes, and I think he does it here. But, he's an interesting-looking dude. He's got a swagger, and he just has it. Here it is, The Accountant 2. You're watching MMT, the live evaluation.
Hello, Braxton.
This is pretty. Who are you?
I am Mary Beth Medina, Deputy Director, Financial Crimes Enforcement.
Fed.
I'd like to say, if you guys haven't been able to see so far, I was so inspired by Bernthal's haircut and also Tom Hardy's haircut in Havoc that I shaved the sides as short as it gets. Can you guys see that? That's the beauty of being able to. You guys ready? Are you ready for a surprise I've never told you? I can cut my own hair. I know you're probably not surprised. Let's watch more. Here comes Bernthal.
You suffer a stroke.
You're upset.
We're working together, so whatever profession you're in, I currently have zero interest.
So she's with the Treasury, and she worked with JK's character, and now they're all teaming up on this mystery, trying to find this missing kid. There's a lot going on here, man. This screenplay is like, can we rein in some of this, okay? But that's not really what one of the issues is here. Just a couple more seconds of the scene.
Apparently, huh? Hey, gosh, that's great to hear. Talk to you for a second.
I spent years looking for you.
And here's a little bit of the taste of the actual
Do you not
film.
miss me because of me, or is it your condition? I'm just me.
Welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here because you can sort of tell right there, you can hear the song coming in. There is some real problems with this film for musical misuse, okay? Now, here, what does that mean? When I'm watching a film, I don't want to hear a song that isn't the right match to the mood of what's happening. The beginning of this film, the director of this, who's back, he also did The Way Back with Affleck. He's worked with him a ton. This director picks this weird kind of blues song to open it up with, and all these characters are coming in, and you know something bad's going to happen. It's not the right tune. And I'm telling you, listen, I don't have an offer to change, like, what is the song I swap? But here's what I'm going to tell you. I know it's not the right song. And that's what drives me crazy when I watch these things, is when I have a director who isn't totally dialed in and makes picks and choices that don't work. There's also a lack of directorial discipline here. And we'll watch just a second more of the trailer. This is a scene right here that's lacking directorial discipline. Let me explain. Watch for a second.
Welcome to the Boise Romance Festival.
How are you?
I just love accountants.
That's a coincidence.
I like camping.
So do I.
I thought I saw an Airstream in one of your photos.
Yes, that's my home.
Okay, the scene here where he's going back and forth speed dating It's cute, right? It's like, okay, gives his character a little bit more. He's looking for a love interest. But when you watch this in the theater, this is how it should be cut. Really tight, and it should be in and out with like a minute, 2 minutes. It keeps going, and he slides in edits and stuff. I mean, what's going on? That's what we talk about with directorial discipline. It means that as a director, you have to know that that's enough. Time to move on. And it's the number one problem that I see with almost every film that I watch. A lack of the director being able to control his urges to let a scene go on too long. And that's exactly what we see when we watch this scene. Also, Bernthal, when he's introduced, he's overseas getting ready to do a hit. And that thing goes on forever. He's talking to himself in the mirror. He's doing a De Niro thing. There needs to be... And this is my job. I can do this. If I just get one person to say, come on in, Eric. I told you the story from Thursday night. I'm walking out of whatever I saw Thursday. What was it? I already forget. Oh, my God, the horror film from Sony. And what did I tell you? They're doing a test screening, and they go, hey. I said, can I come in? And he's like, I'd love to, but I can't. The studio will kick you out. He was 1,000%, Menzel was right there, aware of who I was. And he also said, and if I didn't tell you this on Thursday, it's exactly what he said. He says, I believe that you would be a benefit, but the studio would not have you in there. And that's the problem. The studios are afraid of someone who's going to come in and tell them the reality of the situation. I don't care if it's Affleck. I don't care if it's Cruise. I don't care if it's James Cameron. I'm going to walk in the room, and I'm going to say, here's what's wrong. Bang, bang, bang. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but I know I'm right, and my track record is virtually spotless. So don't fuck around with the man. And what's that, dude? You don't think I'm going to do that? I'm going to 100% do that. But the studios don't want to do it. You have to have discipline. There's misplaced comic moments. This works. There's a thing with a cat later that's weird. Again, the screenplay's like got so much going on. The end feels truncated. It's rushed. This is not a great film, but because of that chemistry and overall just jovial nature of a lot of this, I didn't hate watching this. I give it a 78. I mean, that's not like the top of the scale, but the film has a lot of issues. But I understand why you probably like the first one. Second one's got too much comedy. I don't know if the first one did. Too much comedy. And like I mentioned, lack of directorial discipline. Bring that runtime in at 150, not 205. Why? Why do I have to do this? MMT fix. Stronger directorial discipline. You gotta get it, man. Directors, I'm here. Okay? I had a director DM me last year with a first cut of his film, and said, hey, I'd love to bring you in, but I'm a little scared. Listen, don't be scared. I'm going to make your film better. I'm going to help you. Let me help you, okay? Help me help you, baby. Because if you don't, you're going to be wrong. I mean, let's just face facts. You're going to be wrong. I'm going to be right. I've proven it over and over. I wish I could have seen Sinners. I would have cleaned that shit up. I can handle this because I don't have an agenda and I'm good at what I do. Accountant 2 is a dark character study. Accountant 2 is a bubbly action. See? Well, Leisure Suit. I didn't nail it. Right? Exactly. I mean, I didn't hate it. I liked it more than The Amateur. It's a better film. It's more fun. Certainly more fun. The Amateur's like zero fun. I will probably watch The Accountant. I like Affleck's autistic character, right? It's fun. There's also a country bar scene in this where he's doing the line dancing. Same thing what I talked about, directorial discipline. It goes on too long. He's doing the dance. I don't know what it is. I was born with really good sense of timing. I'm not saying on the stream, trust me. But when I watch, I'm like, that's the cut. Bang. I literally was in the theater yesterday and I go, bang, cut. And it still went on. It went on. He kept line dancing. And I'm like, the cut's over. What you guys got to understand is less is more. I mean, this stream at times is way too much. I think less is more across the board. So what I'm trying to do, almost every note is going to be bring this in, rein it in, tighten up this scene, get rid of this, move this, change the font. But you know what? It's just not going to happen because the studios think they know everything. Have you guys watched The Studio? We'll talk about episode 6. Look at what Rogan, the whole episode with Ron Howard. The whole issue was he didn't have the balls to tell him what he knew was right. And they all knew was right. And that's the thing is I do, okay? By the way, guess what's going around today? I'll probably find it before the stream's over. I don't have it queued up. Now, film Twitter is saying, how did Honora win 5 Oscars? Isn't that amazing? The biggest bunch of pussies on the fucking planet. That's exactly who you are, film Twitter. You have no fucking balls. None. You have none. Okay? I am the man who is unafraid. I will come in and tell you exactly what the reality situation is, and I will not need one person to back me up. That's the difference between me and you. Learn how to adjust and become that person. Because you coming in 5-6 months after I said that film doesn't even deserve to be in the Oscar competition, don't do that when it's safe. That's so weak, man. Seriously, it's fucking weak. Like, don't be like that in life. Be the person when you know it, you say it, and you don't hold back. I was right about Honora. I'm right about Sinners. Okay? Better film than Honora. What isn't? But at the end of the day, I'm so tired of this let's re-examine 6 months later. No. I don't need 2 viewings. I can tell you right now what the problem is. Okay? Don't be scared. So the man with the gigantic. Yeah, someone's watching. By the way, I'll say, listen. I would take all of this presentation more seriously if he didn't look so unprofessional. This is my stream. I'll do what I want, and if I want to have the pink shades, a la Bret the Hitman Hart, I'll do it. Okay, moments away, another MMT evaluation, but we'll do Havoc. Okay, I actually am excited to talk about Havoc, so I want to do it, but let's do a trailer watch. I have not watched the Predator trailer yet, so I swear to you, this is my first reaction to Predator Badlands. So if you have watched this, bear with me, because all of this is going to be new. I know that there's something they did to Predator that a lot of people are like, what the fuck is this shit? So get ready. Here comes Predator Badlands. Let's watch it. I'll stop as necessary. MMT Live on this Sunday night.
I didn't think you survived.
So at least it's in theaters this time versus Prey, which is direct to video. What? Why'd you do that? That could have made some money. It would have made decent money. We can tell right now he's working with a bigger budget. Right, Prey was just really scaled down. This film is already, you can just see it on the screen, much more expensive. Pricier for sure. Listen, everything's getting pushed in IMAX, isn't it? Because you guys know the PLF screens make the studios a bunch of bonus cash. So let's make sure everyone knows it's in IMAX.
You're hunting something that can't be killed.
Okay, is that what we're talking about? Yeah, what? What in the hell? Oh my God. That looks really goofy. Yeah, I mean, listen, do we really need another Predator movie? I mean, we've only watched how many of these? It looks like it's just a bigger budget version of Prey set in, the Old West? Is that what I'm generally getting out of this? I mean, this isn't a film I'm excited for. Okay, forget about the character design. I just am not into these films like that. But yeah, well, I watch it, of course. But I'd rather see something that is more grounded, right? Obviously, we're going to talk about Havoc momentarily, and that's a grounded film. Okay, it's violent as hell. Good Lord, man. Damn, Netflix said, we'll just go ahead and just have this thing be completely and utterly out of control. It's like the Raid 2, only even more violent. Raid 2 is like hellaciously violent. Let's do it right now. Let's do the MMT evaluation of Havoc. It debuted on Netflix this weekend. I just got done watching it. I was trying to see The Shrouds here, which is the new Cronenberg movie. Didn't quite align with my schedule today, so I did watch Havoc. I know it's a bigger film, as you guys are plenty aware of. It's on Netflix, which I don't typically want to deal with, but why? Because Gareth Evans is directing this in the Raid 1 and especially the Raid 2, two of the best action films of all time. So I have to watch Havoc. I like Tom Hardy. Do I like him here? We'll discuss. Here is a scene. You want to talk about if you want to have one reason to watch Havoc, I'm going to show it to you right now because this is it. This is the nightclub fight scene, and I swear to you, I wish that this was from any other studio other than Netflix because this would have slayed on the big screen. This is Havoc. This thing is out of control. This entire scene is like 5 minutes of this. It keeps going and going. It's very much remind me of Collateral, the nightclub scene, right? And then combine that with the Raid. Obviously, same director, so it feels just like that. It's got this gritty, grimy feel to it overall, very grounded. And again, Tom Hardy is playing this bad detective who's playing both sides of the law, and he's having some problems with if it's a crisis of character. Should he be able to do these things? Should he not do these things? Nightclub scene's unbelievable. It's insanity. You guys can see it right here. And it's by far one of the best things I've seen in a very long time, and we just don't get to see it on the big screen. You also see what you're looking at right now, the kinetic direction. And that's what Gareth Edwards does. He did it in Raid 2. He does it again here. Tom Hardy, let me just hit pause. It's really loud. Here, we'll just pause. Here's what I got to tell you. Tom Hardy. Can we discuss Tom Hardy for a minute? Because this is... okay. We all love Tom Hardy. He's just got that thing, right? He's like a lovable pit bull. He's just has that charisma when he steps on the screen, and he's that guy, okay? But I just don't need him doing Eddie Brock. Right, the whole accent. Listen, man, I don't know what you're doing. It's just this thing. He's doing the same thing here. He's doing like a New Yorker kind of thing, right? And he's like, I don't know, man. Listen, Jimmy, I don't know if it's gonna go right. Okay, and listen, he does that whole fucking thing the entire time he's doing it, and it's like, come on, man. Can you lose that? Here's what I think the problem is. This is very simple. It goes back to what I talked about when we discussed these executives who can't tell the stars exactly what they feel. You need somebody who is fearless. And trust me, I get it. Tom Hardy's super intense, and he's going to be, for a lot of people, too much to even go up and dream of saying something to. But I believe as a director, you've got to tell him, listen, you did that accent for Eddie Brock, and we're not doing... Okay, listen, I'm not trying to offend you here, okay, because I don't want to get punched in the face. But here's the reality. I don't need you doing Venom. I need you to do something a little bit different here, even though you're playing this cop who is playing both sides of the law, and he's divorced, and he's going through all kinds of shit, and then the crime family's coming after him. He's got to get the mayor's son. There's so much going on in this movie. Oh, my God. It feels very Raid 2 wannabe E, right? There's characters here that are straight out of Raid 2. Go back to that brother and sister, one with the baseball bat, and the other one. Those two characters show up here in the crime families that are in Raid 2. Just everything here's not as good because you just don't have that karate. The best thing is right here in that nightclub scene that you just saw, where you got Tom Hardy going wild on all of the people, the assassins. It's very John Wicky, right? But remember that the Raid came before John Wick. right? So Wick was out in what, 14? Was that the first John Wick? Raid 1 was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the film that brought everything forward. Go back to the Raid. Sure, there's been other films, right? But I think you go back to Bruce Lee. But you look at the Raid. The Raid is really the origin, the genesis of a lot of what we've seen over the past 15 years in cinema when it comes to these action films, even to a Novocaine, to a Love Kills. They're all centered kind of on that Raid feel. And I think Gareth is a great director. I really like him. And I would, this is going to be weird to say, but listen, I don't hold myself back. We all know that, well, at least there's rumors that there's something wrong with Matt Reeves. I don't know if it's true or not. I love Matt Reeves. I think he's one of the finest artistic directors that we have. I hope that he's okay. I hope they continue to make films and make shows and do what he's doing, because I think he's really hella talented. Let Me In's one of my favorite films of all time, legitimately the remake. But when you look at, if you needed to ever have a replacement director or somebody to step in and do a version of the Batman with something else, I would be looking right at Gareth Edwards. Evans. There's two Gareth Edwards and Evans. Evans here, I would be looking at him to take a franchise and bring in a different look and, again, that gritty, grounded feel. This is a film that's better than The Accountant 2. It was more fun to watch, but there's a lot of problems with it, but because of the high points, right? Whenever we talk about the high points in the film that are stratospherically high, as we like to say, like that nightclub scene, there's a cabin shootout, there's a lot of good things here. The opening scene where they're chasing the truck, that's really well shot. Kinetic direction, it's got a lot of strength. I'll tell you what. This is a film that I give an 85%. It's strong. I mean, for a Netflix film, I think it's definitely one of their better films. I think the real takeaway here is what a shame this is a Netflix film, because this should be playing in Dolby, in Prime, on IMAX, hell, anything that's a larger, louder screen than here at home. It doesn't play the same. This is a film that is not going to work at home like it would in a theater. It's just so, I mean, God, when the gunshots go on, there's more violence and people that get fucking blown away in this movie than I've seen in a long time. This film would have played like gangbusters with a crowd in Dolby. I mean, it would have sounded good. It would look good. It doesn't look like a Netflix film. This can work on a theater. This looks better than The Accountant. It's more interesting than The Accountant, but it's just another disappointment from Netflix, who has no care whatsoever for cinema, and screw them for that. I mean, legitimately, they're robbing us, and these directors should not be working with Netflix. And, if Gareth Edwards wanted to make this, I keep saying Edwards, it's Evans, if you wanted to make this movie with someone else, maybe bring the budget in smaller, do something. I think that's the problem these directors have. They have an idea what they want to do, and they have this budget that's like out of control. I imagine this film was at least $80-100 million, right? It's got to be. There's a lot of shit going on. Plus, Tom Hardy's not cheap. So you look at this film, you look at it and say, how can we get the budget down so I can go work with a Warner Brothers, so I can go work with a Sony, so I can go work with, Lionsgate, whoever. This is a director I want to be in business with. So it's a shame that someone didn't step up and say the same thing. I just can't help but watch that scene and look down at it because it's a streaming film. And listen, I know, Rob, trust me, it was painful to watch this film tonight because I couldn't get into it the way I wanted to. I was watching it, and it just doesn't sound and feel the way that it should. I'm watching that nightclub scene, and I'm like, why am I not at AMC 16 watching this on a giant screen with it just blowing me away with the volume? That's the problem, and it's a shame. That's why I don't watch most of these films. I made an exception because, again, go back to Gareth Evans and talk about The Raid and The Raid 2. Of course, I'm going to watch his next film. So, especially with Tom Hardy and Feel Like a Raid, it's just not as good as those films, but it's also not a bad film. It's a film that should be in theaters, and Netflix, honestly, I'm going to sound like I'm an old man yelling at a cloud. Shame on you. I mean, swear to God, shame on you. Shame on you for robbing people of the experience to watch these films on a big screen. You are taking directors' films that we will never see. Because remember, once Evans makes this film for Havoc, there might have been something that we would have gotten in a different format if he would have worked with another studio. Because you just spent all this time on a film that no one's going to remember here in a year, that's where we're at now. We're getting films that are getting wasted on Netflix. Directors, let me speak as frankly as I can. Your work is inconsequential on Netflix. It doesn't matter. Why would you spend time working on something that is disposable and will be forgotten by the end of this weekend, if anyone even was talking about it in the first place? Just because you want to make the film at your budget, I'm going to tell you, make sacrifices. Change something. Don't go work for Netflix. Just say no. It's a disservice to cinema and a disservice to your career to work with that garbage, and I put this in quotes, studio. Screw you, Netflix. You're the worst thing that's ever happened to Hollywood. Yeah, clip that. Send it to them. Losers. Fucking losers. All right, guys. This is going to be an interesting thing. Quick, any other comments? Would you seen theatrically distribute Havoc go? Yes. Listen, if I had seen this film and I had an opportunity to bid on it, it depends on what the budget is. You know, listen, if Gareth Evans came to me with Tom Hardy in a raid-type film with this script, and I don't even think script's terrible. I think it's got way too much going on, right? It's overpopulated. We talk about that a lot in scripts. There's too many people, too many things. Let's bring it down. The runtime's only 145, so I don't really have a problem with the runtime. I just would squeeze, and remember, what's the note's the same all the time. It's always less is more. And that includes your script. Less is more. Less is more. When we were writing our script, right, my writing partner wanted to go one way, and I said, no, down. Took a scene that he wanted to go here, and I said, no, crunch. And guess what he said to me when we were done? He said, you were right. I go, listen, you know me, whenever. I know, because I have good instincts, very good instincts. And I can always tell you that that's the note. So if you're asking me would I bid on this film, 100%. If Gareth came to me and said, can we make this for 50, I'd say 100% yes, we're making this film. 100%. And I'd try still to get the best version of it. I don't think this is the best version. I would bring some things down. You got Forrest Whitaker here as the mayor who's corrupt and his son. There's just so much shit. I would pare it down. I would lean it out. And I would depopulate the script. And, these are things that most people, listen, you can watch 1,000 other streams and 1,000 other videos. You're not going to hear what you just heard because we're better. I'm better. We were gifted with this. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. It's my bane in life to have to know that I could help all of these things if someone would just say yes, like the guy outside the test screen who clearly knew who I was and said the studio doesn't want you in there. Why? Why don't you want me in there? Why? Why wouldn't you? You're going to have these, you don't even say, you're going to have these people that I'm looking at here against the wall that look like they crawled out from under a rock? You're going to let them go in and judge a film? You're going to listen to them? No disrespect, guys. Sorry. No disrespect. Love y'all. Are you fucking kidding me? Get me in there. Get them out. I want you to do is blow everyone out. Everyone here. I'll even do it here if you want me to. Everybody from this point, you're out of here. Goodbye. Thanks for being here. I'm going to take over from here. I'm walking in. And I'm going to get it right. And the director might not like what I have to say, but I'm going to nail it. And I'm not going to need backup. Just like I didn't for Honora, and for Sinners, and for Babylon, and for Beau is Afraid, and for name the film, The Whale. I don't need fucking backup. I certainly have way more prestige in the space than Sean fucking loser, poser, bitch, Fantasy. He's a joke. You're a fucking joke, Fantasy. Don't ever forget that. I'll tell you a million times. I'll tell you to your face if I ever see you. Come up and ask me. I'll tell you you're a joke to your face. You're an embarrassment to this space. An absolute embarrassment. And I'm telling you, I don't care if I have 0 viewers. We will fucking destroy these people. Here's a nightmare scenario for you. Evans starts making money for Netflix exclusively like Fincher. Listen, Fincher's off the table. As we know, once you start working for Netflix, it's over, right? Doesn't even matter. And that's the problem, right? Every director who goes to Netflix, they are inconsequential. And that's the truth of it. Fincher, who cares? Where's he been? I talked about that forever ago. Now it's trendy to say that. Why is it that everything I say 6 months, a year, 2 years ago is trendy now? Because I'm the only person who has the fortitude to say these things. The rest of these people don't have it. That's why I just bagged on Fantasy. because that guy is the biggest poser in the space. He's a fraud times a million. Embarrassment. And that guy, you're going to get that guy's the guy? Give me a fucking break. I'm the fucking guy. And I will come in and tell you every time that guy would never say that because, it's not the right thing to say. I might not get access to that director. I don't care. I don't want access to the director. I don't need to worry about Netflix. I don't have a subscription to Netflix. I didn't pay to watch Havoc. How about that? You want to play? Yeah, exactly. I didn't pay to watch it. Oh, wait a second. Too bad. You don't deserve shit, Netflix. Nothing. Thank you. Steve, listen, because at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather watch someone who will just come out and say the reality of the situation, whether you agree with it or not? It's a hell of a lot more interesting than watching someone like, I've got to appease my viewers, gore, fantasy, whoever it is, name somebody. They're always appeasing. I don't want to get someone angry. I don't care. That's not my mission is not to kumbaya everybody. I don't give a shit. I'm here to tell you this movie's good or bad, and here's why. It's objective. It has no agenda. I don't have an agenda. When I watch Sinners and I have all the problems I have, go back and watch the reaction stream. I didn't sit there and say, I'm going to take this out on this because it's a black director. Can you imagine? That's what someone said because there's always some clown. The racism card. Shut up. Don't ever do that shit around me. Don't ever bring that shit into my space. Don't ever do it because it's the cheapest shit and you are frankly garbage for even mentioning something like that. I have problems with Sinners as a film, period. And I will not be held back by the fact that, we can't talk about this because no. It's a person who directed a film. End of discussion. I'm not going to have this discussion beyond what I just said. It's a person who directed a film. I'm not going to give special allowances because of X, Y, Z. I'm going to tell you the film's not good because of boom, 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 boom. I don't care. No, I don't play that game. And people don't play that game with me, and I don't expect you to. That's how it works. That's how we play. Not going to do it. And, speaking of which, let's do it right now. Thank you, Steve. Let's do it right now. Let's talk about Pedro Pascal because he was discussing with J.K. Rowling. Let's get the exact quote. I don't want to misquote this. We talked about this on Thursday. This is what I'm going to do. I do it better than anybody else. And I'm not going to. Which side do you think I'm going to take? I'm not taking anyone's side because let me tell you what needs to happen. I want both of them to shut up. I swear to God, I want both of them to shut up. I want J.K. to stop talking about trans, and I want Pedro to stop talking about trans. I know that he has a brother or sister, whatever, guys. That's not, I honestly don't know what the correct verbiage is. But here's what I'm going to tell you. My movie star that's fronting Fantastic Four in a few weeks here, I do not need him making headlines going after J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is not, she did Harry Potter. I don't want her talking about it either, but she's not the star of the movie. She created Harry Potter years and years and years ago. The movies are done. Okay? Maybe there's more shit coming out. I don't know. I don't care. I saw them. They're fine. Whatever. Moving on. But Pedro is in a bunch of stuff that is now going to, as we saw with Rachel Zegler, get attacked because the conservative side is going to be like, shut up, Pedro. I'm saying shut up, Pedro, because I don't need you talking about this. Yeah, I know you want to defend. I get it. No one's saying that's wrong. I'm just telling you that listen, I get it too. Is it do you not care about your career? Okay. You want to defend your brother, sister, whichever you want to call it. Call it the brother. Okay? Honest to God, come someone and tell me. I don't even care. I'm not going to argue that. We're not going to sit here and go, Weber was doing this. I'm saying because I honestly don't know. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I do not need the star of my major motion picture coming out in a few weeks to be getting into it J.K. Rowling over this. I just don't. And I'm going to pull him into my office. I don't care if he's Pedro Pascal. He's overrated. My God, when's he been good? I haven't seen him in one good thing. So again, don't care. I would tell him that if I didn't have this going on right now. I don't need my stars talking about this stuff. Stop. Can we just stop? Just talk about something else. It's his brother, sister. I got it. If I had a brother or sister, I might say something, but I wouldn't broadcast the world J.K. Rowling's a heinous loser. Maybe you think that. I'm doing this on a stream. I just called Sean Fennessy all kinds of names. I'm not fronting a $400 million movie. Yeah, okay, I'm exaggerating. 200 plus million in Fantastic Four, sure. Whatever they tell you, I'm sure it was at least 200, close to it. It's a Marvel franchise. It's not worth it. If it is worth it to you, here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull him in. I can't handle J.K. Rowling. She's doing her own thing. She's like her own boss. I don't control J.K. Rowling. Do you see what I'm saying? Pedro Pascal's working for me as a studio. I'm pulling him in my office. I'm like, listen, if you want to do this, you're not going to work on my next film. And no, that's not anti-trans. I don't want you talking about this stuff. This isn't your thing. Rachel Zegler got us in trouble. You're not going to do it too, Pedro. Stop talking about it. Stop. You got it? Do you understand me? Do I have to take you out back, okay? And spank you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Stop. Fucking stop. Listen, I've said this before. If Pedro Pascal were an accountant, you'd be like, that is Joe from accounting. No one would ever look at him twice. He's a very average looking dude. He is. Sorry. Not even ripped. Not like he's like jacked. I look at him and I just go, why? I'm not saying I don't see anything. I'm just saying I don't see what everyone else sees. That's for sure. Oh, he's the leading man in all these franchises, and he's the guy. No. He's definitely not Reed Richards. That was a weird fucking call. But again, this is not political. This is objective. Stop talking. Stop. Don't do it. You're not an activist. I mean, why do I have to have these conversations? I really believe that if you want to, listen, I've said this before and I mean this. The DMs are open. They really are. If you want to get in hold of me and say, hey, we need you to talk to this person, here's your consulting fee. It's not free. I'm not talking to Pedro for free. I can tell you that. No fucking way. Not with a movie this expensive. I will sit down and talk with Pedro. I'll introduce myself. You say, who is this guy? Listen. Mitch and Murray sent me from the office downtown. That's all I'm going to say, okay? When I walk in the meeting, I'm going to sit down and say, Mitch and Murray sent me down. So you need to listen. Those of you who understand that, you get it. And then I'm going to say, stop talking. I get it. Your brother, your sister, whatever it is. I get it, but I need you to stop. Now I need you to hand me the money. Because I just did the work for you. We are robbed of Adam Driver, Reed Richards. He's he certainly would look the part better. I think he's got the right stature and presence. He's taller. He's got more of a physicality to him. Pedro Pascal is kind of like again, he's just average. I mean, everything about him is kind of average, right? So he has a mustache. So do I. So I'm just saying, like, for a movie star, Pedro Pascal is just, again, Joe from accounting. I don't see it. You need to explain to me. I don't get it. Maybe he's good in something. I'm just telling you, I haven't seen it. I've seen stuff that I go, okay, it's fine. I don't think it's great. Let's see. Do I have another? Let's talk about, in a second, let's go ahead and do episode 6 of The Studio. If you guys aren't watching The Studio, I still recommend the show. I got to tell you, though, as we continue on here, we are seeing The Studio get worse episode by episode. Okay. I think the worst episode of the year was when we had the 2 assistants / co-chair getting into it over the film, right? That episode made both characters unlikable. It's too early in the series to be doing that. I think you got to show shades of likability, and I don't think that's there. So that scene, that whole thing. This one with the doctors, right? I think we're on 6. Is that right? I have not watched 7 yet. I'm just trying to stay with you. I can watch 7, 8, 9, 10 tonight if I wanted to, but I'm staying with you guys. Episode 6, the doctors. Seth's dating someone who's not into Hollywood. He has to defend his job. I think the biggest problem with this episode is you go back and you look at Seth, who's the head of Continental Studios. He's a studio head, okay? And he's going to walk into a doctor's thing at Cedars-Sinai here in Los Angeles, and they're not going to know he's the head of a studio. He's not a producer. He's not a lackey. He's the head of the studio. Let me explain something to you guys. In this town, even if you don't know anything about Hollywood, someone tells you the head of the studio is dating our doctor. Yeah, hello. Everyone goes, oh my God, that's a big deal. So the fact that they treat Seth's character with so little knowledge and so little respect for a man who's the head of a studio in this town, it's bad. Seth, that was really, I don't know what you were thinking with this episode. I don't know. I know he's writing some of this. I know he's directing it, but this is by far the second bad episode. And I say bad, it's a weak episode. I still enjoy the show enough, but you cannot believe that a head of a studio is going to be treated like an intern, essentially, throughout the episode. They treat him with no respect. Trust me, if I was hanging out, okay, if I went to a big event, a big function, I've been to these functions, right? When I did TV news, I had to go and be the guy at the event. Oh, it's Erick Weber from the local news. And I'm like, hey, hi, good to meet you. I watch you on television. Thank you, pleasure. And here's the thing. And I usually get fucking drunk. Man, I was worse than Gore walking into a movie. At one of the events we had, this big crazy party, I was smashed. Thank God I'm still here tonight. I don't do that anymore. Gore still does. I don't do. How many more shots can I get in? But here's the thing. When I went to those events, if I was sitting at a table, right, you go around and you just make small talk. What do you do? This is what happened. I do TV news. Now I'd say I'm a loudmouth streamer. Here's the reality. Is that, talk about no respect. If I was at the table and one person was like, I'm the head of Lionsgate, do you think, even if granted, for me, I know, but even if you didn't know, you'd be like, wow, Lionsgate, Hunger Games. I mean, let's just be honest. In this town, people know. The fact that they're acting like Seth's just a regular dude who works at it, come on, man. The whole episode doesn't work from that alone. That conceit is garbage, and because of that, the episode really suffers. I hope 7 gets back on track because really we peaked already at 2. 1 I really like, 2 I love, and then 3's okay, Ron Howard, and then we start to go. So let's just hope it goes 1 to 3. Exactly, yeah, and that's the thing, right? It does get a little silly. I think the other thing that you really want to do, I see it in episode 6. Whenever you have an episodic show, you really want to have 2 things happening, right? You want to have the main thread running through the entire episode of Seth with the doctor going to the event, and then the other thread is he's trying to figure out the trailer. The problem is the whole trailer thing is kind of goofy, right? It's the diarrhea horror film kind of thing. That whole thing is you really want to have 2 good things going on at one time. Him doing this and someone back there with a crisis trying to figure out. Even it was a crisis, but it didn't really feel like it. They're trying to find the right cut of a trailer. I feel like this show really needs to watch out because it's getting very inside baseball. And if you are not inside baseball like I am and you are who watch MMT, you're going to be like, I don't even know what's happening here. This doesn't register with me. Why are you talking about Parker Finn like he's a household name? Go back to that episode, right? You gotta, Scorsese's one thing. Parker Finn? Dude, what are we talking about? I mean, I know who that is. You know who that is. But the average person has no idea they couldn't pick Parker Finn out of a lineup. In fact, I don't know if I could have before the episode. I mean, I'd seen a picture of him, but when I saw him, I don't know if that looks like Parker Finn. I don't know him. And they're talking about him oh, Parker Finn's here, Parker Finn. I'm like, why are you talking about Parker Finn like he's a name? Nobody knows who the fuck that is. So you got to watch that, right? Ryan Coogler would have been better. Obviously, people know who that is. Okay, not everybody, but more people know who he is than Parker Finn. Okay, so I think this really, and then they also have the director of Funny Pages. Listen, man, I don't know. Whoever's writing this is like film Twitter. And here's the problem. Film Twitter, like we talked about, is this. The tiniest slice of the pie. I need you to broaden out the pie a little bit. This show's not going to make it past season 1. I don't think so. I don't. Right now, unless I'm blown away by 7, 8, 9, 10, and I can't believe I'm saying this here tonight, if the studio does not recuperate and recover and get going here with 7, 8, 9, 10. Golden Globes are coming up. Can't wait because I've been to the Golden Globes 2 times. I've been into the Golden Globes. I've been there. I know what it's like, so I can't wait. That episode's probably going to hit really close to home because I'll be like, I've been there. I know all of these things, so I can't wait to watch that. But here's the thing. You want to see this progress and get better at the end, because if it doesn't, if I'm at Apple, I'm going to ask how much does this show to cost to produce, and I'm definitely, here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to call Seth in and I'm going to say, listen, if you're going to do season 2, I know you try this with the doctors. I need it to be better. You have some really great episodes, but you've had some midge things. And if I'm going to green like this and spend millions more on another season, I'm going to need you to open up the aperture a little bit, give me some characters that I can relate to a little more, not so inside Hollywood, and then I can maybe go ahead and say yes to season 2. But until then, I'm going to reserve judgment until I watch the last 4 episodes. So that is concerning for me. Even though I still recommend you watch the show, it's just exactly like Kuzma said. It's becoming a little bit disappointing. And, I think that's a problem in Hollywood in general. Staying consistently great isn't easy, man. How many directors, writers, actors that we see over the years have a great film, a bad film, a mid film, an okay film? The great films are few and far between. It is hard. to be consistently very good. I think our stream is consistently okay. But, right, to be great, that's another thing. And the point is if you're not going to deliver greatness every time, that's going to be disappointing. And I get it. We're not designed to do that all the time. But at the same time, if you have time to make the film, the show, you need to make certain it's the best possible version, because if it's not, this world is too brutal to things that are not great. And if you are not, okay, let's just talk quickly on this stream. When I started this stream back in 2022, it was the Batman was our first ever live stream with Scott Menzel. And let me tell you something, is that and I'm not saying this is a great show, I'm just telling you it's a lot better than a lot of people I watch. It's okay, and I know, listen, there's one thing I'm able to do. I'm able to remove myself from my body and look back and say, as I watch, like you would watch, I would say, this guy's got something. He's pretty good. Now, I know for me that sounds really weird, but I think we can all agree. Here's the thing, is that if it weren't, we wouldn't even still be going, because it would just be like, what's the point? I would know it, you'd know it, and everyone would just say, let's just fold the tent and let's just say it's over. The reality is I know that we do better work than virtually anyone in this space. I will put a live stream of mine up against anybody with multiple people, and I'll tell you what, I think it's better. I do. And I think that we are smarter, more objective, more fearless, and more talented across the board. That's me, granted, but I still believe that even if I pull myself out of my body. So we're going to continue. And I think if you hold yourself to that standard, same thing for a show or a movie. If you do not accept average, if you say this isn't good enough, you will always go back and tinker and go, why do you think I still go? Listen, I talk about this all the time. I go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm no longer 29 years old, okay? But I am in the best shape of anybody my age anywhere, okay? Literally at the top of the fucking rung. For this space, it's not a contest. But here's the reality, is that, you know why? Do you know why that is? Because every day that I go in there, I say to myself, how can I improve? What's one thing that I can do to make this better? To make something a little more this? How can I increase this or that? Say playing beach volleyball down with my boys, play better at the end of the day, because I am continuing to work hard on the stamina. I'm doing sprints now at the high school, like full-on sprints, man. I'm talking like 100-yard dash, okay? So, believe me, the videos are coming at some point. You guys will be like, holy shit, this guy. But here's the reality. All of that feeds into that whole mindset of let's continue to try to improve and get better tomorrow. Even if I know the reality is I'm not, because as you get older, it gets harder. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight Father Time. As Interstellar, I'll tell you what, there's a moment in Interstellar, you guys know the line, where he talks about the Poe poem, talk about raging against the dying of the light. When I watched that film, I remember sitting in the theater. I'll still remember this day. And when that line hit, I said, holy shit, I'm going to live this. I'm going to rage against the dying of the light. And that's exactly what I do. Every time I come on the mic here, every time I hit the gym, every time I go out, I want to make sure that I am raging against the dying of the light. Because if you're not, then you're simply dying. And I will not accept that. And I hope that you can take that. If you get anything from what we do here, that's the number one thing. And look, I bring that back in to what we talk about with these evaluations and me wanting to tell these directors, tell these studios, let's do this, let's change this, let's get a better version. This script isn't good enough. I can help you because I know what I'm doing, and I'm also not going to hold back. There is no filter, as you guys can clearly see. And I will not ever worry about the perceptions of others onto me. And when you do not have that worry and you do not have that fear, you are unstoppable. And in this town, they don't know what to do. That's why the executives you can't have them come in. Why? Because they're scared. They don't want to deal. It's too much for them. They're used to the yes men. They're used to the you're so great. I am not that person. I will tell you're great if you're great. I will not say it if you're not. And that's what we talked about this entire anytime you watch the stream, every evaluation is exactly that. It's never going to be because of this, because you check this off, because you no. The film is on its own merits. Merit. Who remembers when Weber had the Batman font logo? I did. I had that. It's still, hold on, it's on the back of the computer. Hold on, let me see. Can you see it? It should be there. Do you see it? There it is. Look, it's some things are always here. You just didn't even know it's here. Thank God there's not something else back there. There'd be a live stream like, edit that out. Edit that thing out. It's there. See, this is, I'm looking at my laptop right now that is completely out of control, like overpowered, because I'm streaming. I got 17 windows open. Have you guys seen that thing where the guy opens up all the stuff on like Chrome and it's like the internet shut down because he had 147,000 windows up? That is me here tonight. I feel like I got to start shutting some windows. Let's do some open comments and then I'll see if there's one more trailer to watch before we get out of here, because I feel like watching one more trailer. I feel like we can do one more, right? I just said, try to get better. Rage Against the Dying of the Light, which is the stream dying in the light. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's go to the Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what trailer we can watch. Hold on. Let's find it. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go to videos. Where's the newest posted? Lego and Stitch Thunderbolts. Oh, Thunderbolts stream coming up on Thursday. I'll see it Thursday. We'll have the reaction stream Thursday night right here. I was hoping maybe to see it early, but Disney doesn't want me to see it. I don't care. Screw you, Disney. I don't care about you. You mean nothing to me. Seriously. I'm sure I mean nothing to you. Perfect. It's a perfect relationship. I don't give a shit. Let's see. Is there another Weapons. Let's watch the Weapons teaser. I didn't see this. Weapons is Zach Krager, right? He's back. He's the guy who did Barbarian. So I've heard some things about this. I love the idea. It's like in a school, like some kids like disappear in a school. It sounds like kind of creepy shit. Okay, here we go. I'm watching it for the first time. This is the Weapons trailer. Let's see. Yep, thank you, Mount Fillmore. I didn't even see that, and I did. Okay, here we go. Let's pop it up. Let me make it big. I'm going to watch the whole thing, comment after, because I've not seen any of this. Zach Krager's Weapons coming, I believe, in August or early September. Let's check. Here we go.
Mr. Graff, I can understand your passion, and I don't mind having these conversations with you because, God forbid, if it was my child, I'd be demanding answers too. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them.
Ooh, I like that.
You see that I don't.
I like that. I like how we switched to security footage. Oh, look, it already has a website. Maybrook Missing. Let's go check it out. Hold on. Maybrook. I like that. That's so cool. Here we go. It's already there. Maybrook Missing. Here we go. This is cool. I love when studios do this stuff. 17 local kids leave home simultaneously at 2:17 a.m., as you saw on the clock. A chilling mystery has gripped the small town of Maybrook after 17 kids voluntarily left their homes Wednesday morning. Authorities are baffled by the inexplicable disappearance, which has shaken the community to its core. Security footage. This is cool. Look, there's all kinds of stuff. Look, underground prison. This is cool. This is almost okay. Do you guys remember when Cloverfield came out? There was this huge viral thing going on with that trailer. This is smart already. It's Warner Brothers, right? Because I imagine it's got to be. It's New Line / Warner Brothers. They did Barbarian, and I know Roy Lee watches. Roy, if you have an early cut of this, I'll see it. I will give you notes too, Roy. You know I know what I'm talking about, Roy. Roy produced Barbarian and the Devil one, the TV Devil one, whatever that was called. I forget now. He's a big producer, and he talked to me at Strange Darling, and he said he watches the stream. So, Roy, if you're watching, I'm down to watch Weapons, and I will give you notes, okay? If Zach wants to hear them, you might not want to hear them, but I'll give them to you. Come on, man. I'm here. I'm here for you. Bring me in. But I love this. I love what's happening. So Roy, you have my message. You can DM me on Twitter. I will totally be down for this. Yeah, I can't wait. This looks cool. And Zach, listen, I had some problems with Barbarian. I told you it was very don't breathe-y, right? Or what was the other one? What's the one that was in the dungeon where the girls were being impregnated by the guy in the house? That is what a lot of Barbarian draws on that, right? Because remember, the creature is the same thing in the basement all the way below the house. The thing I like about Barbarian And I maybe I was a little hard on that film. What I like about that film is it's got so much going on outside of the actual house. You've got the actor who's trying to get over the sexual abuse stuff. There's a lot of crazy shit in that film. I remember watching it going, whoa, okay. It's very ambitious, right? Storytelling, very ambitious. And I say this all the time with a horror film. Again, I was kind of hard on Barbarian, but I'm just going to tell you, I appreciate a film like Barbarian that's going to try to do different things than a film like Until Dawn or Tarot. Run-of-the-mill, who's going to survive the night garbage. We've seen it too many times. I want to watch something that is different, and that's what Barbarian was. And I think, you're looking at a director in Zach Krager who is... I definitely saw talent. No question. I definitely saw talent. I had some problems with Barbarian, but overall, recommend, and it was a sleeper hit. So, yeah. All right, let's do open comments here, and we'll get out of here. I'm already over an hour, so you've already gotten way too much out of me here tonight. Once I hit the hour thing, that's it. It's all bets are off. It's time for me to do the comment blast closeout. Let me find tonight's track, and we'll do it again. One more time, hit stop, get ready. Comment blast. We only have about 3 minutes on this track, so you have 3 minutes of comments. Do them quickly. You ready, Gone Girls? Ready, set, go. That website took me back to 1990. It does, right? It totally looks like 1999. I totally agree with you. Where is it? Let's pull it back up. There it is. Yeah, you know what? Good point. I can't pull it back up. Neon did a great job with Longlegs. So I think it's the same kind of thing, right? They saw that. Warner's new line. And also, remember, that's also from Boulder Lights production studio. I had lunch with one of the founders of that studio a couple years ago. Good guy, smart, appreciate. Listen again, Boulder Light, you're watching, I'm there, I'm ready. Bring me in, man. You don't need to do a test screening with all these yahoos you bring in that live under rocks and in their cars and shit. I'm the man. I'll come in and do it. You don't need anybody else. Just bring me in and put me in there. Me. Clear out everybody. Clear them out. I'm like the mafia Don. Bring me in. I want everyone out of the theater. Roll it. Roll it. A24 is likely to do well with friendship or materialism. Hey, you know what? I can't wait to see the Safdie films, but I will say this, that I'm kind of looking forward to Friendship. It looks a little weird, right? Different kind of tones going on in that film. I'm going to see it next Monday. We'll have an early reaction for that film next Monday. They're going to run it early here in Los Angeles, so I'll do an early reaction stream. Probably a short one, but we'll just do it on Friendship. Coming up next Monday, the 5th of May. Cinco de Mayo. Is that right? Oh my God, I think it is. A24, that's it. Already got it. NPC, what's your favorite horror film? Welcome to the channel, by the way, NPC. I don't think I've seen you here before. Great question. I mean, you got to go back to An Exorcist, the original, for a great horror film. But if you ask me like a horror film that I love that no one... Oh, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a horror film, but we already, I think, watched some of it before on the stream. I love the old TV movie Gargoyles. It was on in 1972. When I was a kid, it was on like the local affiliate of something, and I was like, what the fuck? The creature design in 1972 Gargoyles. It's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. Super cool. In fact, we should just watch that some night. Why not? Who cares? I have enough copyright shit going on here. It doesn't matter. I'll think of something else, but that comes to mind. It's like kind of a weird thing, but there's definitely some cool... Oh, Cabin in the Woods. I mean, right, that's more sci-fi horror, but yeah, you'll probably enjoy Ugly Stepsister. I'll try to see it. You know, it's either that or The Shrouds. I've got one more AMC A-list to burn before Thunder Cox on Thursday, so I don't know. I don't even know if Ugly Stepsister is showing or whatever it's called. Yeah. The Shrouds looks really, really depressing. And I didn't love Crimes of the Future. And I didn't... Cosmopolis I didn't like. You talk about recent Cronenberg. What was the other one he had around but that was just recent? Before Crimes of the Future was something else. Not his kid. His kid had a couple of films, but... Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyone planning to see Shrouds at AMC? There's no trailers, no obnoxious AMC. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I would have been really screwed tonight. I was rushing home from the beach today, and I was trying to see Shrouds, and I said, I missed it, so I said, I'll just go see Havoc. I was going to walk in 20 minutes late. I didn't know. That's interesting, because it's such a small film. It's from Sideshow. I want to say, like, Janus. Janus is like one of the smallest studios out there, so I bet they didn't want to deal with trailers. And they have to pay as a studio? Something? I don't know how it works. Oh, whoa, Rob. Ouch. Yeah, it does. I watched the trailer. I was not really feeling it, so I think I might just skip the pain. Havoc, on the other hand, I enjoyed. You know, overall, I think it's a film that really should be on a big screen. And I love Gareth Evans. I still want to say Gareth Edwards. I still want to say it because it's like it makes sense, right? Any other comments? And we're out of here tonight on this Sunday. That's the end of the song. Last one. No, I never did. I don't want. Here's the reason. I don't want to watch that trailer because if I watch that trailer, then I'm gonna be screwed because it'll tell me too much about the movie. I don't want to see the Life of Chuck trailer because if I do, then it'll ruin a bit of the film. These other films don't really matter, like Predator and all this. By the way, tonight's kit was the Premier League champion Liverpool. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for being. Look, there it is. And by the way, this is the authentic vapor knit. There's the Wikipedia. There is the Champions patch with the no room for racism. If you think that I don't roll in here with authentic match kits, this is the real deal. This is not like a replica. This has the ripples. This has this cool fabric. I recommend if you have any extra cash lying around, buy an authentic kit. Whether it's Nike or Adidas, they fit unbelievable, and they have a fabric that feels like $1 zillion. When I put this thing on, I'm like, let's go to war. I would wear this as I walk in and tell a director, your film sucks. Is he wearing a Liverpool kit? Yes, he is, and your film still sucks. Thanks for being here live at the City of Angels. MMT is out. We're back Thursday for Thundercocks. I'll see you back there. Until then, peace out, live from the City of Angels.